Hey,
Hey, and
Jen.
how you go?
I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. I am. The last time we chatted, I was struggling with like school stuff. Not the course itself, but actually like the books and just
Yeah.
the logistics. It was a mess.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to report that this quarter, or it's not really a semester, whatever, I'm going to proceed. We picking up again. The book situation is still a hot mess, but my professor is
That's a
so
new
awesome.
thing. It's not you.
My professor is so awesome that we worked out a plan. So I'm gonna go ahead and like dive in.
Get the ball
And
rolling.
yes, so I'm really excited about that. That's been like a little bit of a dark cloud that's just kind of
It's
hanging over my
stressful.
head.
It's stressful.
Very frustrating. So now that that's kind of resolved, I literally start class on Monday.
Ooh, low.
And it's
Low.
accounting class, so it's not
Ooh.
like, no, it's not a walk in
It's
the park. No, it's
ooh.
serious business. It's two parts, so it's managerial accounting and financial accounting. So just send up a little prayer for your
I
girl. But
I
I'm thank you.
I know
Thank
it's not
you.
an easy class. It's not.
No, I
It's
feel a little
not.
bit intimidated, but I got this. I
You
got this.
do.
So thank you for asking. That's out the way. How are you? How are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay.
Focusing on like health stuff. So
Ooh,
that
that's
is
good.
a lot. And I'm very thankful that I have good health insurance
Ooh,
to kind
yes,
of, so
yes.
it's not just like physical health, it's mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like
Mm-hmm.
trying to tap into that as much as I can. And that journey, I think, is like really uncomfortable. It's not an easy journey
Yeah.
to have. It's it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's a two-way street, you know. You have to have a good therapist. You have to be invested yourself.
Facts.
Yeah. So it's
Facts.
it's getting there.
I love that for you.
Mhm.
I mean, first of all, it sounds like it's actually working for you, and that just does my heart good. Um, I've tried with therapy in the past, and this is no like shade or to the therapist, but just not the best fits. The timing just didn't work out. Schedules didn't align. It's just different things
It's
that
different, like
detoured it, messed it up. It
like
didn't work out. So I didn't really have the chance to really like deep dive and do the work. So it sounds like you are actually
it's
doing
in
the
progress.
work, and
It's a
I
very
love that for
it's a
you.
very slow progress. It's unpacking. It's
But it's no
um
rush. It's no
yeah,
rush.
no,
You know.
a lot of self-reflecting. So
I'm sorry. Say
so
hi.
honestly, I think it's so important
It is.
to
It
invest
is.
in here.
Not right now. Not right now. I love you though. I'm sorry.
My baby's over there.
We're gonna put you back
You
there.
know, speaking of babies, my
Yes.
baby is over there. But I got a
We don't
cute
see him.
Valentine. Did you see it? Kathy, come here, baby. Hey, Poppy. Uh, I got a
Yes.
cute Valentine's Day gift from him. Well, my grandma,
Oh,
but
I love that. I love That's cute. I love that. So
yeah.
this
Yes,
is
I
my
love.
new one. I have to throw the
Yes.
other one. It was
I've
done.
done
This is my
that.
new one. Hmm?
Because sometimes I notice, like, sorry, this is off point for everybody, but you really have to, like, deep clean them.
Oh
And
yeah,
I'm still
no.
learning
Or they
how to
will smell
mold.
that. and smell
more like
awful
a weird smell, and I'm like,
in the like in the
yeah, there are some TikToks that show you how to clean them the right way, and I'm like, I didn't know that.
nice. I feel like I'm
So
not using
just
TikTok right.
yeah, so you can look because I didn't know it can come apart, and I'm like,
I didn't know that either.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Each one teach one.
But
No.
anyway,
Yes, yes,
speaking
yes.
of
My bird.
Valentine's Day,
Yes.
I love you. I
Yes.
want to kind of dive into that.
Okay.
We've touched in other episodes, but I want to
Mm-hmm.
dive into talking about love and relationship. And I think for me, a lot of it like goes up and down in waves.
Mm.
And now I'm noticing, and I'm like assessing, and I'm like, my perspective has changed. My
Okay.
standing on business has
That's right.
changed.
That's right.
Um, I
Yeah.
want, I want more, and I want to go right about it too. So, like, the topic is like, does ring mean a thing, or it doesn't mean a thing? So I feel like there's a difference in your 20s and then in your 30s.
Oh, for sure. For
The
sure.
rah rah is not the same rah rah.
Play fun.
Cutesy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same. I
Mm-hmm. Right.
feel like I don't have time to rah rah. I need you to be
That's fair.
serious.
That's fair.
I'm not saying serious like buy me a ring tomorrow. No. No, I don't mean that, but I mean don't be so quick to just, undress. Get to know me. Make me laugh. Let me know where you stand on certain things. Because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like now intimacy is so much more when we're connected. I'm not saying that always happens. There are people I've had great connection with, and then intimacy
It wasn't. It wasn't there.
wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't there. So it really just depends on the individual. But I don't think it's something you
Just
should rush
had
into.
a thought. Like
Hmm.
it's almost like basically you're talking about the concept of having a holistic relationship.
Right.
So like let me back up. Like holistic typically is a term that's used to describe like your whole self, all of the things, all of the compartments that make up you, right? So you
Right.
have mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and I'm
Hmm.
probably like missing some, and I'm not like
But you got
too
like the
adept
important gist
that,
of,
but just
yeah,
general concept, you get one. Follow me,
I feel
okay?
you.
So you have the different compartments that make up the whole you, right?
Right.
You have, and I feel like it transcends to relationships as well. So relationships have a physical compartment, they have an emotional compartment, they have a mental compartment, they have the spiritual compartment too. And sometimes people may miss that one or misunderstand that one. But anyway, you have all these compartments that make up the relationship. So holistic relationship too, and I'm making this up. I'm sure it's probably something out there, but this is how my brain is
You're
thinking, how it
interpreting it.
operates.
Yeah.
So I feel like what you're touching on in the concept of like intimacy, like physical intimacy, and let's be real, we're talking about sex here. What
Mm. I see.
what um when does sex enter the equation?
That's what I'm asking.
That like how soon is too soon?
Hmm.
When is the appropriate time to introduce that act, I guess?
I
And I think it's
feel
a
like
great question. It's a great like
I've
discussion
mentioned
topic.
in previous episodes, I feel like it's something I'm still navigating because one, I don't want to be restricting my sexual freedom.
Mm-hmm.
But however, at the same time, not everybody can have that cookie.
Mm-mm.
You know
They
what I'm
don't
saying?
deserve.
They don't deserve that cookie. And sometimes, like, I'm not trying to be mean to y'all in the audience, but sometimes when men y'all talk and I'm like, why did I give? And
Some regrets. Yeah, I get
yeah,
that. I feel like that's so real and relatable. Like people get
right?
that. I'm sure there's many people that are like, same girl, same. I'm sure the guys
You're
are out
like,
there like, I should not have gave it. You know what I mean? Like I think that's very human part of like growing up. And it
mm,
depends on your background, your beliefs, and all that too. But I just feel like overall, most, if not majority of us look back and we're like,
oh,
definitely should not have done that. Why? You wasn't even worth it. You don't deserve it at
what?
all. I
I,
would never again,
I think
ever,
it's like
ever,
you weren't worth my time.
at
I
all.
think that's the one thing I've given up so much is time.
Mm,
Time. Time. I can't. I've said this in so many episodes. Time I can't get back. I
true.
can't get that time back.
You cannot.
And you know
It's a
what?
lost commodity.
Yes. And you know what? I think I want someone that's my best friend because let me describe what I mean by best friend. I mean someone that hurts when I hurt. So if I'm hurting, you hurting. We're one. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? You
Yes.
wouldn't do anything to hurt me. To hurt me. And I mean by that, I
Mm-hmm.
mean you aren't gonna lie to me. You aren't gonna go behind my back. You aren't gonna lead me on and make me fall hard for you to just vanish.
Yeah.
And like I was kind of reflecting, and I was thinking, okay, you know how this. Nah, I cannot. Oh man, I'm aware of this. But why do men say like, "Oh, why are you catching feelings?" Like we were going somewhere. Where were the feelings supposed to go?
Mm,
Like what were they supposed to be?
yeah.
That's just, I feel like that's not a realistic concept. And I think it's a lot of layers to that. It could be a society thing, it could be commitment issues thing, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bring someone in while you are not
Yeah.
present.
Yeah.
And that goes for both parties. That goes for the female, the male, the female, whatever the
Facts.
preference is.
Facts.
I'm not judging the preference. Just love who you love,
Mm-hmm.
but don't lead anyone on. And I came across this message. I was scrolling and was checking Instagram, and this girl said, "My boyfriend broke up with me when I was just about to start work, and I was
Interesting.
a new job."
Okay.
And I was so heartbroken that I had to take a bereavement leave to
Ooh.
heal from that situation. So it's like,
I got goosebumps on that one.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's like
God bless you.
that heartbreak is hard. So don't like just leave someone on or put someone on the back burner while you're looking for someone. You're like, oh, I could be with this person, but I'm gonna no
Yeah.
do and let me go.
I feel like you are literally, so you touched on so many different
Sorry, y'all.
things. I
I was
can't,
just like
no,
in my
please.
head.
I'm glad. I want it to be organic. Just talk your stuff and we'll see where it leads. But I'm going to try to remember to go back and touch on a few things that you have mentioned. So the first thing I want to say is I feel like you're calling out something just now. A concept is called placeholder.
Yes,
And
like
yeah,
that
it's a placeholder. It's basically when someone takes advantage of you, will use you,
too.
even go ahead and commit to you. You're in a relationship or you're
Have
exclusively dating. Y'all been together for a while. They may have even thrown out like marriage words,
kids.
all of that, all of the things. But realistically, in the back of their mind, that person knows that they know that they know you are not the person that they plan to spend the rest of their life with. And as
I
soon as they find what they're actually desiring and looking for, they're gonna drop you. They're gonna leave
quit.
you, and they're gonna go and get what they want. And so you basically have served as a placeholder in their life, and that
You
is
really honestly,
terrible.
let's call it what it is, girl. You was
Mhm.
auditioning for a role that you was never
You
gonna
were
have.
never gonna get. You said it. You said it. And I remember being introduced to that concept back in college
Me too.
through a book that I read.
Really?
Hold on, because I think I have it at my desk.
Like,
Let me see.
yo,
This
I
is
think we
the book.
talked about that.
I think I let you borrow this book.
No, we talked
We
about
talked
it.
okay. This book, it's called Solving Single: How to Get the Ring and Not the Runaround, or the Runaround, or the Runaround. But this is the book that introduced me to that concept. This is a great
Auditioning for
book
a
if you're
role.
interested. Go
Yes.
check it out. I love this author. I think he's great. He's very straightforward. He has a very direct style of writing. So you may read it, and if the shoe fits, you might be a little bit offended. But hear what he's actually saying. Take it
I
and
will
learn.
admit, some things are really hard to swallow.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially if it fits, if it's true. It's very hard to swallow.
I could be honest and put it on the table for you. There are
Okay.
times where I was like, I know I should have left. I know I should have checked out.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, wait, let me see. Oh.
Trying to say something for what? You
I
already
know.
saw it. I
I
know.
was
I've
like,
been there. I've been there. I've been there. Girl.
do that.
Young and dumb.
Oh,
The best way I can explain it is we were young and we were dumb and we didn't know, and we had to
the
find out the
hard
hard way.
way.
Sometimes you gotta learn them lessons the hard way, and it sucks, but
It's
it
icky.
is what it is.
Icky, girl.
It
It's
is
icky.
what it is.
You know
But
what? But
yeah.
I want to add to where right here
Mhm.
you hit the sweet spot saying some things you have to learn the hard way. So
Yeah.
about I want to say 2 years ago there was a Tubi commercial and it was
Shout out to me.
I love Tubi but I love it.
Sometimes.
Tubi had a commercial during the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And that commercial it was it made it look like the Super Bowl went back to where they were commenting
Mm-hmm.
and then went to search and picked a new movie.
Okay.
And during that Super Bowl commercial, a lot of men were getting angry and like, why would you change the channel? So anyway, I came across this TikTok where a girl was explaining that she broke up with her boyfriend because of that Super Bowl commercial
Are
where
you serious?
he lashed out on her and was like, how dare you change the channel during the Super Bowl? And like was basically humiliating her in front of his family.
Wow.
And I'm
It's
like,
never that
okay,
serious. It's
it's
never that
never that
serious.
serious. And it was literally like maybe 2 seconds and then flip, was not deep. And the
Apparently,
mom,
it was for him. He
And the
was.
mom was telling the girl, like, the daughter, like, you're being too serious to break up over a commercial. But her argument was, if he was that upset over a commercial, what's gonna happen when I'm married and bigger things happen?
That's right.
That
Sometimes it's
was
not
a
the thing,
teacher
it's the
moment.
principle. It's the
That
principle.
it was a teaching moment, and it made me think, I wish I had conversations like that growing up, so I
Hmm.
wouldn't have to learn things the
The hard
hard
way.
way.
So
I just want to
true.
like throw that out there.
No, I love that. That was beautifully said, and it is so true. And now I realize I've become older. Definitely, we're in our 30s, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you right now, most of the time for me now, it's about the principle. It's not
It
even
is.
about the thing. It because the thing could be minimal, not
Right.
that deep. It
Right.
depends on how you look at it. But from my frame of reference, like, hold on, like, principle here. Like, what are
Like
you missing? You
why
know what I
you
mean?
lashing out
And I'm
at
not
me?
about to explain to you no principles. I feel like at our big age, we
We
gotta
gotta know
know
them.
better. We gotta
We
know
gotta
better.
know them.
If you don't got that principle, baby, it's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. And I don't mean that like just relationships romantic. I mean just in general. It's like
I think it's just
we're not
boundaries.
here. We're not here.
Boundaries. It's
We're
boundaries.
not. We're
Like,
not. We're not. And that's
yeah.
okay. But it's not gonna work.
No,
You know what I mean? Like,
I said to my grandma, I said, like, if in that situation, if I'm at the Super Bowl and my boyfriend lashed out at me in front of my family, like, as a family, how would you react? And I
he
think it's
feels
very telling
way too comfortable
to do that
treating you like that in
in
front of
front
people
of.
that are supposed to protect, love, support you. And he feels
Mm,
comfortable doing that in front of them.
what is he gonna do behind
That's a
closed
huge
doors?
red flag. He should not be doing it anyway.
Well, right.
Let's emphasize that point. He should
Of
never
course.
do it. But most people don't do things in front of certain people. You know, family, friends. You know, because they're trying to mask, hide things, right? So if he feels like, oh, I'm comfortable enough, I'm enough to go ahead and do that, like that
Mm-hmm.
is concerning. He probably is abusive. Probably. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like a good sign. Let me just say it
I,
that way. I feel
I,
like she dodged a bullet for
she
sure.
said that was the first red flag, and it was enough for me.
I'm proud of her. I'm happy for her. I hope that she found what she was looking for. It was not him. It was not him.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't think, and you've mentioned this in other episodes, diving in too soon with feelings, with intimacy, with really anything, even just meeting each other's friend, diving in too fast. It's a recipe for
Or
disaster. It
just
could be. And
that. I
yeah,
love that you brought it right back around to the point
right,
because I'm a I'm a firm believer now. I've always felt this way. I've always
right.
been more of a relationship girly. I'm not interested in
Yes,
sleeping around. I'm not interested in
right.
having one night stands. I'm not, and these are
Always.
personal choices. So I'm not here to
And I
bash
respect
anyone
that.
who does it. That's on you.
Right,
But for me personally, I've always been, I need to be in a relationship to even get to that point.
right,
Now I've become older. That goal post has become marriage. Like that's important to me. So now it's like I'm not interested in like line crossing it until there's commitment, holy matrimony, marriage, like let's go. You know, that kind of thing. And it took growth, years, experience, failures, disappointment. You know, it took all of those things, lessons. It took those things for me to get to that point. And there's also the spiritual component too for me. There's spiritual beliefs and like foundation that I'm now actually like implementing and practicing and following. Before I would say I'm a Christian, but I wasn't practicing those things. And I was young.
That
So
makes sense.
now it's like, no, serious, we're going to take it a little bit more seriously. But the point that you were raising is like, okay, yeah, when you get to that point where you're like, what are we doing? What do I want? What's the goal? Like, that's precious. Your
Yeah,
body is precious.
I don't
Does
want
that
to play
person
play.
value you? Do they
Yeah.
see you truly? I don't mean with their eyes, I mean with their soul. Do they see you?
Mm.
Do they know who you are? Do they care about
Yeah.
you? And I mean, we have emphasized this so many times. Care is very, for me, care is serious. I think it's one of the first indicators of positive experience in a potential relationship. While you're like dating and becoming familiar with someone, are they showing genuine signs of care? When y'all part ways from the date or something, do they follow up? Do they call you? Do they text you? Do they check on you? Make
Do
sure
they
that you
call
got home
you?
safe?
It's the
Like
little things.
care. Things you can't teach. It's either in
Mm-mm.
you or it's not. And I think like that's like a big foundational thing, care,
I was just
obviously.
about to say that if we don't have the foundation, and the foundation is just the basic things, like I care about you, I want to make sure you stay. I care about you, I want to make sure nobody's hurting you,
I want to
including
make sure
myself.
you're good. I want to make sure you're good.
Right. Do you have my back the way I have yours?
Yeah.
I think that's a big factor in many things. And I don't think you see it often. And I will admit, I've definitely jumped too soon with so many people. But, like,
But what were you looking for? Let's
right,
talk about that. What were you looking
right.
for?
I think the majority of us, we want that connection, we want that intimacy, we want that closeness. But it's never given back to us in a fulfillment kind of way.
You're
It's
never
never,
fulfilled and it don't last.
it
It's a short
won't.
time, for that at that time, and
Mm,
then afterwards you're void again.
yeah.
It's temporary, you know?
I've read something that's like, it's like when you're with someone so long, and then it's just kind of, they like ghost you, they disappear, or like whatever the sacredness is. It's like a limb, it's like a part of you is missing because you got so used to whatever treatment you got, and then when it's gone, it's like, okay, well, how do I function? How do I proceed? How do I this stuff? So, like, for this realization that I mean, personally, I'm like, nah. If you're
Yeah.
not riding with me, you're not the homie, the best friend in the way that I need forever. Bow out, baby.
Yeah.
Bow out, because I don't got it in me to continue if you're not for me and you out here trying to be for someone else. My heart can't take that anymore. I can't. I'd
I
rather be
think,
alone than to be with
yeah.
somebody who's auditioning other people for my role. Nah, I
I
can't.
think it's worth acknowledging and mentioning that different people view sex differently, and
Definitely.
it doesn't always hold as much weight for them. And so we have to take into consideration, account that some people will disagree, and that is fine, that is fair. I think for the sake of discussion, if you are someone who is very sexually liberated, or it's just an act, you're detached emotionally, it's not something that's deep, it's not spiritual, it's not in your mind, you feel like it's just fun, or it's just an enjoyable thing to do, then what we're talking about, maybe it doesn't resonate for you, and that's fine, that's okay. For me, when it comes to this discussion, I feel like too soon is marriage. That's my standpoint on it. Tori, you were sharing, and it sounds like it's more like commitment, like
I
relationship. You guys
I
sitting down and coming to an agreement about what you're doing, where you're going, what you're pursuing. I guess, is that correct?
yeah, I think that's where I'm at now. Before I was like, I don't believe in love. I don't see it happening. I want it to happen, but so many times, either let's be for real.
Mhm.
I set myself up for failure, and I stayed too long when I should have bowed out. I
Yeah,
should have bowed out because
yeah,
really, who can control me?
right. That is correct.
So I think now it's just I want more. I want
Yeah,
solid stability. I don't know if marriage is the goal. I mean, I think it depends on my partner, and I want someone that likes me. That's number one. I want someone that's my best friend. That's number
that's like
two.
bare minimum, though.
It
You
is.
know what
It
I mean?
is.
I just feel like you said, the cookie. It's so precious
Yes.
to give it to someone just because they like you. I like a lot of people. You know what I mean?
You like
I
it when I
like a lot.
cookie though.
Like is not deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I like white chocolate, candy. Like I like a lot of things, and I would encourage you to raise the bar a little bit. Like is, I think, like one step of like, okay, I'm glad you like me. That's great. But that care aspect and the things that you've mentioned
That's important.
before that you really want and desire, like you don't have to care about someone to like them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You
So
can
I
I
just want to throw that out there. Like I hear you, I hear your heart, I hear where you're coming from. I got you, but I just feel like to give your body something that I personally view as so special, not to be minimized, not to be um freely just given. Um yeah, just
I
don't let that be the minimum, you know?
no, I just think I'm more firm on my boundaries now because one, I'm older.
Try,
Two,
right.
it's just different for me now than it was in my 20s. My feelings, my perspectives, my desires, my fulfillment need is different.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm not saying care is the minimum, but I'm saying I need to see it. I need to
Oh
see
yeah.
other things too, but
Okay.
I
Yeah.
definitely need to see that.
Yeah. I think it
Um,
depends on your goal. Like
right.
the question that we raised for this discussion is how soon is too soon. I think it depends on your goal. If your goal is, a long-term committed relationship, then it's gonna obviously be based on getting to that point. If your goal is marriage, like for myself, then it's obviously gonna be based on getting to that point. If it's not, if it's more of just, fun or freely just, enjoying yourself, then obviously the answer is going to be different. So it really depends on what you are looking for. I think overall, um like on a spiritual like aspect, connecting with many people, there are some things that happen spiritually when you do, and just being mindful of the impacts of what happens after. You're sharing something, you're giving something away. It's an exchange. Do you, so just think, like, ask yourself, like, okay, yeah, this is fun, this is enjoyable, I'm looking forward to this, but like on a deeper level, like what we're about to exchange, do I want that from them? Are there
Mm,
things from this person that I want to receive? And I mean that in a spiritual way. Like, I would just challenge you to think about things a little bit differently, and not just see it as a physical act, but if there's potential for other things, like we take in and we take on things from people when we have sex with them. When you leave from that exchange, how do you want to feel? How do you want to view yourself? Are there specific characteristics in that person you want to take that on? Like, just questions to think about. And I feel like oftentimes we probably dismiss it, or maybe it's never been brought to our attention. Maybe we don't know. Maybe we haven't thought about it that way. You know?
I think for me, like I mentioned earlier in this episode, it's
Mm-hmm.
not talked about enough.
It's
So
not.
I definitely did not think about it like that
When I was
until
younger, no.
much later.
Mm-mm.
But I think I would have if I was talked to about it that way or exposed to it that way
Right.
much more often than maybe we would. But I want to make no mistake. There's no shaming nobody.
Right.
If you want
That's
to
right.
rah, go ahead and rah.
Do it safely,
Make sure
please.
you
That's the only
communicate.
thing I would say. Please just do it safely. That's
Communicate
it.
with your partners. Your
Yeah.
partners. Just communicate. I think that's really the key is having good communication foundation. And how soon is too soon? I think that's up to you.
It's up to you. Yeah.
And I think that's a good way to kind of just tie this. But
Mm-hmm.
I do think we could like go deeper into that. But I want to see what the audience has to say because this is a hot topic.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is depends on what you are exposed to.
Mm-hmm. It depends on what you believe. It depends on what you care about. It depends on your perspective on it. It depends on what it means to you. It depends
For
on what you
real.
were taught about it. It's so many different aspects of this conversation, like, honestly. And we all, that's the beautiful thing, as individuals, we all have different perspectives, beliefs, understandings, feelings, thoughts about what sex means and how it can manifest in your life. So yeah, it's a great, right, topic, and it's very expansive. So what we've touched on today, surface level.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. And I want to add this. There was a period where I needed my rah. I needed to explore. And I'm thankful for the personalities and the different people I've got to meet along the way. Some people I wish I didn't meet them, but
Yeah.
those are lessons. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I, oh, so I don't want that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure. I
So
can agree with that. I
definitely that.
can. I can agree with that. I definitely can say some of them avoidable,
Oh,
not
for sure.
necessary lessons I didn't need. I think I
For
acquired some
sure, I did agree.
unnecessary lessons. For me personally, looking back on it, no. Um, and again, I just think it's what do you learn from it and how did you navigate going forward? Like, I think that's the most important thing. Um, just recognizing, like, what it means to you and how you want to move forward now from this point. Like, that's the important thing for me. I realized, like, okay, some things I wish I didn't. Dang it. It's okay. Now I know. Lessons learned for sure. I won't do that again. And now going forward, what do I want to do? Well, this, and this. Okay, now I have to act. I have to follow that. If it's just my goal. my behavior needs to align with it. If my goal is marriage, then that means I can't be sleeping around, I can't be busting it wide open, I can't be letting my emotions and my sexual feelings drive my dating and my relationships. I have to put that on the back
Woo.
burner. Hold, like, keep that.
Wait,
Not right now,
wait a
sis.
minute.
Not right now,
Wait a
sis.
minute. Wait a minute.
Like,
Hold
I
up.
gotta be in the front seat driving, so I
Mm-hmm.
can make sure we get there. And so that's basically what it's about. It's just figuring out what you want, what your goals are, and how you plan to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And taking care of yourself also. I think it's
Definitely.
very important. There's so many
Definitely.
aspects we haven't even touched on, like the safety aspect. It's just a lot. Like, so yeah, I think, like you said, it's a great place to try to wrap up. It's hard, but time. So until next time, I guess we're gonna say